are located in the world. My name is Alian, and we're gonna have a special guest who has a book that will be coming out on the 21st, and we're gonna get to it in just a moment. All right. And again, to introduce myself, my name is Alian Robinson, and this is Grindtime, first episode. I'm interviewing my Ace Boon Coon. He go by the name of Trash Vegan, and again, he has a new book that's coming out that's fresh to death. You're gonna learn about some of the things that took him from ashy to classy, you might say. He is a beast in every aspect you can think of. And I'd like to introduce you to my homie, Trash Vegan.
Peace. How you doing, family?
What's up, King?
How you doing, King?
All right, Mr. Vegan.
How you doing, sir?
Why do they call you Trash Vegan?
The Trash Vegan. Well, it was I'm in Derek Grace's After Dark and his secret society, and one morning we were on a call, and we were doing our After Dark thing, and we were talking about some stuff, and we were like, yo, what kind of vegan are you? I was like, yo, I'm not a regular vegan, I'm a trash vegan. I kind of like the other side of the vegan world, and not the raw, clean, eating all plants all the time. I kind of like my burgers, I like my fries, I like my Twinkies, my cupcakes, ice cream. So kind of gave me like a trashy instead of a classy vegan.
So you showing people there's a other side of being vegan.
Yes, most definitely.
And from what I gathered, when we set out to do the website, you were showing me all these products that like, you can eat this. You can eat this. You can eat this.
Yeah. Most people don't know. Most things are vegan. When it comes down to it, it's just the meat and the dairy that we try and stay away from. As long as we can, with a lot of static. Okay. Most of the products that I focus in on are stuff that I would equate with regular eating, like before I was plant-based. So I like a lot of, when it comes to ice cream, cheeses, I'm really big on my mac and cheese and all of the regular things that you say you can't have when you go vegan. So I'm out here to prove people different.
Hey, quick question. Do you have headphones?
I do.
Pop those in right quick. I'm sorry to interrupt that. Yeah. Okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Cool. Yeah, we should have did a nice
How about now?
So, and again, now tell us about your journey. You went from 300 pounds, correct?
Yeah, right around 300, 295, around 300 pounds.
And you did that, 180, right?
Yeah, I got down to about 180 right now. I'm in between 180 and 185 on a regular when I walk around.
Now, what was your mindset been at 300, around 300 pounds. How to transition from 300 and come all the way down to 180? What are the psychological effects of you doing that? And what was the time period?
So for me, my time period was because I wasn't big on working out. That wasn't what I wanted to do. At the time, I was just kind of happy in where I was at. I made all the excuses in the world. My belly became the playground. My wife was happy. Everybody around me was happy. So I made my excuses on why I was the way I was until I went to my doctor. And it was that trip to the doctor, what I wrote about in my book. It was kind of that period right there, talking with my doctor and going over my health numbers and him explaining to me that if I expected to be around to raise my kids and actually see them grow up, I had to do something different. My blood pressure was up. My sugar was up. I was at high risk for diabetes, just stuff that was in my family's past, and looking at where I was going, where I was at with my numbers, where I currently had stood. He said that I needed to do something different if I planned on seeing my kids grow up. So at that point, I made the change. I decided to make a difference in my life and make a change to be here for my kids and my family.
Now, a lot of people, was your body already telling you that you needed this change, or did you feel the discomfort being at that weight?
I put it like this. My son was about, I think he was about 8 at the time. He was about 7 or 8, and he had just gotten to track and field. So that's where the track and field came from. I became a coach kind of to help him along his journey. So we used to go out and work out, and it got to the point where my 7-year-old, he was just running off, and I couldn't keep up with him. And we were going for 2 and 3 mile runs at the beach. And if something were to happen to him, I'm physically struggling to keep up with him at the weight I was. And I didn't feel like I was in bad shape. I didn't feel like I was eating bad, but I just couldn't maintain the speed of a 7-year-old at the time. So I had to do something different about it.
Yeah, I know how that is. I know how that is. Different. Daddy, so, let's go. Daddy, let's go.
Oh yeah, he was all go, and that was what he was when he was a little guy. He was turbo. He was from here to there to everywhere. He was a nonstop, all go, all the time. So that put a little giddy up in my step to make sure I kind of pushed the envelope a little bit. So I didn't want to do the whole. Me personally, I didn't want to do the whole working out 5 days, 6 days a week and in the gym and killing myself and burning myself out on weights and these little strict diets where you think you can go here and then you get slim quick, and then 20 days later you back heavy because you really didn't practice any habits, any good diet habits, and changing your life, actually changing your life. So for me, when I actually went vegan, it was a discipline thing. It was really a discipline thing for me. And once I found the discipline to actually that I can maintain and stick with, and I can make it work for me, and it could taste like good and it tastes regular where I can actually enjoy it, I found the way I can stick to it.
Now, the rise of the trash vegan. Can you show that to the people?
Oh, the rise of the trash vegan. Yes. This is my book.
This is the new book, huh?
Yeah, this is the new book. It just got here. As you can see.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm really excited about this. This is my first book, so this is like really exciting to me. It's like a big thing.
Oh, man.
This is a big thing for me, man. Like, and as you go through. Yeah.
So what was it like for you to write this book? How consistent you had to be, and how long did it take you to write the book?
It actually took me 1 month and 2 days. Exactly. One month and 2 days. 1 month and 2 days, exactly.
And I remember you working on it, but I didn't.
You were right there through the whole.
I was right there, but I wasn't.
Remember it.
I wasn't computing you writing the book, like, you know what I'm saying?
it was a process, man. I was
Yeah.
actually I think it started for me actually before the trash vegan stuff started. When like the whole trash vegan thing started, it was just a series of events of things that came along that kind of pushed me into doing something different with my life. I always had my everything else that I was doing, but COVID pushed a lot of stuff down, and then we start kind of transitioning finances, investing, and we stepped into a couple of different fields that we weren't used to. So this kind of came a lot. The LLC running all being in Derek Grace's group, the Secret Society, really pushed on starting a business and learning how to run a business and operating your business and the team and really making something of yourself. So I really thank DG's group for that, because that put me in a good position where around hungry people that's really in the same kind of mindset that I needed to be in. And it kind of put a different grind behind me. Rhonda Wright, my editor, she's like a phenomenal team member. Like she kind of pushed a whole different side out of me. I really appreciated it.
Oh, yeah.
She kept me on my. We were at anywhere from 1,000 to 2,500 words a day. It didn't matter. She made sure she got it out of me. And once I got to the point where I was pushing, it started feeling good, man. Like I can really look back on the process of going over it and getting the story out. It was probably one of the better things that I've ever done, bro. It was refreshing.
And Rhonda, again, I have to say this. She is a genius. I mean, and she pushed you to write, right?
Hey, bro, I grew up in Compton, California. I have I didn't finish my AA, but I did some about a year at Compton College before I ended up dropping out after my father passed away. I didn't have a great educational background where you just gonna say, oh, this guy's a scholar, but I wasn't a dummy. And actually going through this process was just a totally new experience for me. And it was one that I had to kind of tap in with some different parts of myself that I never tapped into before. And it was a humbling experience, to say the least. And I look back on it and I'm just thankful that I actually made it through. And I'm actually looking forward to my next project.
Now, on your website, you have 3 different plans. And the first plan, the Trash Vegan Fitness and Mindset Blueprint, what does that entail? Like,
all right, the blueprint, that's basically a way where we can structure individual programs for individual people to get them on their journey to get into their goals. If it's a weight loss goal, if it's a diet goal, whatever their goals are, to get into the vision that they have set for them, we work on structuring the plan around what they're doing and their lifestyle, and it's structured specifically for them. It wouldn't be like I get a plan for me and I can give it to you and it'll work the exact same way. Your plan will be specifically structured to your body, your day, and what you can have in your body, because everybody's body is different. You don't get the same type of chemical makeup for everybody's body. Everyone's different. So you kind of structure everyone's individually.
Okay. And you have another plan, which is the focus coaching. And can you explain a little about what the focus coaching, what does that, how does that affect people, and how do you present it to your client?
Some of my clients, they require a different type of push. You know, some of them need a phone call at 5 o'clock in the morning. We going to the gym. Some of my clients call and complain with me and tell me how they feel, but we make sure we get to the goal. I refer to my boy Bo, the trainer. He always say, we're gonna get the butter out the duck. You know, it don't matter. It don't matter who you are, where you start at, because everyone has a starting point. Our goal is to get you to
start from where you are, right?
Wherever you're at and you start at, that's fine. We're not trying to take anybody and turn them into Jackie Joyner Kersey overnight. That's not our game plan. But what we are trying to do is take every individual person and help them one day at a time get to their goals to achieve what they see in their future of being a healthy individual. It's all about health to me. I really focus on everybody getting to their individual goals and making sure. I have a client that hits me every morning at 5 a.m. up to the gym, consistent, making sure we're on point with our diet, making sure we're on point with what we have as far as goals on our weight loss and what type of steps we're taking, and making sure we're consistent with our steps that we're taking and we're seeing results.
Okay.
Between my clients, I have a few clients. We are down. One client's down, I think, about 85, and I have another client down about 120.
Man, so you get results
one day at a time.
One day at a time. And your last thing I see as a service, you have individualized meal planning.
Meal planning, exactly.
So you like tell them how to do it, or do you go to their house, or do you do a Zoom call to show them how to prep this and wrap it and love it?
See, most of the time I can send out products if they need it. I can individualize and give you like a week's meal plan if you need it, or I can just help you design stuff that you can consistently have and that can keep you within your diet. It kind of depends. Some people are different. Like I have like my sister-in-law, she comes over and she would prefer for me to just give her a week's worth of food. So I slice her food up, I season her food up, and I have it set up so when she goes, she can just pop it in, warm it up, and she can have her whole meal. And she'll have one meal a day for an entire week. So that's kind of what I do. I focus on a 7-day meal plan with her. So throughout the day, we kind of have a course of what she should eat, but I'll throw in like a meal that I would want her to focus in on, her power meal for the day.
Okay. Now with this being said, all three of these services, and with your book, in your book, do you have any like recipes that people can hark in on?
I have another cookbook on the way. Cookbook on the way. Just vegan recipes that you can try at home, quick to make, different stews, different things that I like to eat. I have a lot of items that I like to eat. We're Southern California, so we do like a lot of Tex-Mex. We do a lot of SoCal Mex. It's just a mixture of authentic foods and turned into a vegan dish.
Okay. We'll bring you back for that one. So now, you talked about your health.
Mm-hmm.
How was your spirit during this process, and what was your like? I always believe in these 4 things, and if they're missing out the loop, something is failing. So if your spirit and your mental, your physical, and your financial. Now, if your physical ain't right, how does that affect the other 3?
Me personally, I don't know. You kind of go through a state of depression when you're not healthy. You know what I mean? For me, and even when you're making money and you're making excuses because you physically aren't able to do what you would like to do with your body. It wasn't until I actually got down to where my doctor actually originally told me he wanted to be. See, this book takes you through the first year of my journey. It didn't take you through the complete journey because it's still a process for me. I still find I woke up this morning, I had to go on a walk. You know, I wake up a few days out of the week and we go run. If we're not running, we're walking, we're doing something. But I can go do a 7-mile run without blinking now. Before I started my journey, I wouldn't even thought about doing it. And now I'm doing it for fun now. And during COVID, that was one of throughout the whole lockdown, California is different with some of these states with lockdown. We really took it seriously because I had a brother, a niece, I had family members that got sick. And when it got to me, I was like, I couldn't afford to risk any of my kids or anybody that I'm responsible for, my wife, my family members. So we took it seriously. So going out running, that became like a release over this past year, just being able to get out and run. That was the only real exit outside of essential trips that we had to go through, that we even left the house. So it did a lot for me mentally, you know, over the past year. I was just thankful that I had it as a go-to to kind of pull my spirits through this whole pandemic.
Yeah. Pandemic. Now, like the running part, like during the pandemic, the pandemic, we saw that athletes, entertainers, all these people had to sit down, and the only things that was moving was health, technology, and finance. And I think because of people were staying home, they had more time to binge watch. So that correlates to more snacks. How would you tell people to how would you look at people and say, hey, we can do this instead? You get what I'm saying?
Healthy options is what I think you talk about, having a healthy choice or two, right?
Yeah.
With me, I'm big on getting the dairy out. The dairy is one of the hardest things to get away from. One of the things that I focused on when I went vegan was I was able to read packaging. That was something that I didn't do as a child growing up, and as a young adult, I didn't read packaging growing up until I actually stepped into this plant-based world, into this vegan lifestyle. So once I did that, I started being more aware of what was and what wasn't good to eat, because you start seeing multiple ingredients on stuff that you can't pronounce, opposed to seeing 4 or 5 ingredients in the item, and it probably costs twice what the other one costs. You kind of wonder why, but then you eat them and you like, oh, I can actually get it out. Because people think it's about what you put in. Nah, it's good what you put in, but how quick are you getting it out? How many times are you going to the bathroom a day? Is your body properly hydrated? Are you resting? Is your body stressed out, knotted up, and unable to release? Are you actually working your kidneys, your liver, your spleen? Is all these organs functioning properly? That's a big part of this. You know, health comes really in the mind first. The body comes after you get your mind together on what you are and aren't going to put into it. You can kind of focus in on how your body's going to function and work after that.
Now, you just said one of the key things, water. How much water do you intake daily?
The proper amount. Me personally, I keep a liter around me at all times.
Okay.
You know, I'm usually doing my distilled water if I can't get spring water. I usually do distilled water because it's a little bit, it's I can put my minerals back into it, opposed to trying to have something where I'm trying to pull stuff out. So it's a little bit easier for me using distilled water if I can't get, you know what I mean, if I can't get good spring water. But that's a part of it. I'm a big fan of Pedialyte, you know, Form Runner. You know, my guy Form, he always tells us, you know, it starts with water, but you need your electrolytes. So I really believe in keeping Pedialyte in your diet to keep your body hydrated. A lot of coconut water, and you're supposed to have half your body weight in ounces every day, regardless, to be properly hydrated. And then some people, depending on your activity levels, you might need more, just depending on how much you're sweating out. So it's good get what you get in, but it's also about what you get out and how your body is cycling through it.
Now, during your transition, how did family members react to you? Did they help you along this journey, or did they was like, you're fat, you're gonna always be fat, blah 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 blah? You know,
that's a good
you gotta
one.
stay the same.
I put it like this: it got to a point where I went down to go see my mom, and you know, my mom, she's been surviving cancer for about 9 years, where they told her she has 6 months to live. So she was another piece of motivation for me just to keep on living and stay healthy. But she was going through her stuff, but she looked at me at 180. She was like, Oh, baby, you getting too small. You getting too small now. You kind of got to start eating again. I was like, Ma, I'm good. I never go back to eating the way I once ate. I have a
You had a
family.
whole
Like,
person.
yeah, I couldn't do it. Like I have a family, and growing up, food was like joy to me. You know, food was like, we didn't grow up with a lot of money, so food was
Was you
like,
the only child?
no, I'm actually the baby of 5. So
Dang.
like my
So they
oldest,
spoiled you, huh?
yeah, my oldest sister, she's 5 years my senior, and I have a sister. I ain't gonna even speak on her age, but she's a little bit over 10 years older than me. So I have siblings that's older, and I wrote about it in my book. Like dealing with the being a baby brother and going through weight gains and getting called fat as a kid. It was something that was kind of hard to deal with. So I've dealt with ups and downs with weight loss my whole life. So it wasn't until I actually made a honest effort to change my life that it actually started to work.
Now, do you think people, psychologically calling you fat and doing certain things, do that, push you towards the food as comfort, or you know what I'm saying?
It definitely did.
As a crutch.
It molded you. It gave me something to kind of, the one thing that I always knew to be consistent was food. It always was good. It always tastes good, no matter how I felt. Food was the one consistent in my life that I always went to. I could always go ahead and make me a sandwich, and I know how I'm gonna feel after I eat that sandwich. I grab me a bag of chips or eat me a pint of ice cream. I know how I'm gonna feel after that. I also know how I'm gonna feel after somebody talk about me. So you know what I mean? It's cause and effect. So I realized I could still live happy and not have to put the extra weight on. Because one thing, vegan food a little bit more expensive. You're gonna savor your food a little bit more. You're not gonna go ahead and eat the whole thing because you got it on sale for 99 cents. Because that same thing might cost $3.99 or $4.99 for the same thing of ice cream, same size. But now it's like, yo, I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple scoops of this instead of eating the whole thing.
So one of the other things, like you say, you went from walking to running 7 miles.
Yeah.
How did you overcome from the walking to running? That transition there, that physical transition.
It was about 2 years ago. It started off at practice. Like I said, I coach track, and I got to be out there with my athletes every day. Being a coach, you're the first one there, the last one to leave. So I got there about an hour early. I had the whole track getting ready, talking to other coaches. I started making a ritual of going around the track, just kind of checking the track out. So just walking, making sure it's nothing on the track, hazards for the kids to make sure they're safe for the day. That walk around the track became a jog around the track. And then before practice every day, I was getting I was working on a 5K. So I was trying to get my miles in every day. It's about 3 miles every day, trying to get them in before practice. And I was trying to time it. So then I get to practice a couple minutes late. Now I'm behind schedule. So if I want to get mine before the kids start, and I have a specific time at practice, I expect my kids to start practice. So I got to get mines in. So that started picking up. And one of the dads, actually my son's best friend, he's like a brother to me, Lynn. He was like, I want to run with you. And with his job, he sits at a desk all day. So an opportunity for him to run. And that's been my running partner ever since. So for the last year or so, like that's what we do. Like we really focus in on getting a couple days a weekend, and just some old guys out there trying to get our little trot on, and stay in some type of shape.
Man, that's a blessing to have a running partner.
Yeah, it is, bro. So, it helps. It helps with motivation, and it helps keep you going. Some days I don't feel like it. Some days he don't feel like it. But we know we're not going to let each other down. So you got somebody to kind of go out there with. It really
so you
helps.
have an accountability partner.
Yeah, in life you
Okay.
kind of need that. Having a solid team around you help.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I
That's
got
one of the things we hark on, having accountability.
Hey, bro, I got one of the best teams around me in the world. I couldn't ask for a better team, from my
Yes,
IT
sir.
guy.
Now,
From
how was your confidence level doing this transition? Like, you have people that like it's better to get you more than they're cheering you on. And sometimes you want people to be in your corner with the pom-poms cheering you on, but it's like you have to go on the inside to figure this out. How did you overcome that?
bro, I guess all my life I've been one of the have-not kids. So as the transition came and as I grew into it, you start to see the attention that comes with it. And then you see all the people who says, oh, they're really cheering about you, but the whole time they talked about you before. So you start seeing the fake love. And I'm real big on fake love. So I work on keeping energy. I'm real keen on energy and the energies that I keep around me. So I focus on that, bro. Everybody's gonna have their opinions. I'm not here for anyone's opinion. I have a goal, and my goal is to be the best version of me, and I do that daily. So I focus on that, and I let everybody else say what they need to say. And end of the day, catch me if you can. We'll be at the finish line.
Bro, you went from 300 to 180. And how long did this transition take you? Like, did
Um,
you say years or did you?
for the first year, like I said, with the book, I covered it for the first year. I started hiking at the end of that year. I started going on walks, and I started doing little stuff in the book, but I really didn't take running serious until about 2 years ago. But it took me to get down to about 190. It took me about a year and a half, almost 2 years, without
Okay.
working out, just changing my diet and changing my eating habits. That was the primary focus for the first 2 years, is just find a way to do it, because I didn't know how to do it. I didn't have anybody to help me in the beginning. I kind of just jumped off the deep end and said I was gonna do it. that was my trip into vegan. I was like, yo, I documented it. The first 3 days, nightmare for me. I went all out, and I was like, yo, bro, I'm not gonna make it. This ain't gonna hit for me. And I talked to one of my partners, man, and he had been a vegan for about 20 plus years, and he sent me a couple of directions and told me about a couple things. And that night, I promise you, I was whipping up tacos, bro. And I was like, I got this. After that, I was like, yo, once I realized, I've always loved to cook, bro. So once I realized that I can actually eat regular food and it tastes good, I'm sold.
Man, I can't wait for the cookbook, man. I can't wait for it.
Oh, it's coming. I'm working on that.
Yeah.
I have a few more pages that I'm working on. I have a couple more recipes that I kind of want to convert. In the process of converting, I want to actually make some of the stuff. So I'm not just doing stuff that you see in the paper and you don't know how it actually goes or how I would make it. I actually like do a little video and show it, so you can kind of go back and like, oh, this is what he was talking about. So everything I make, I have like a video behind it, so it can kind of
Okay.
have like a
I
detailed
know
way of
we'll work that out behind the scenes. Woo!
call me, big bro. You already know it.
I already know. Now, one of the things, like for myself, I cut out a lot of meat
Mm-hmm.
because I know how it's processed, but I
Mm-hmm.
haven't completely let it go. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to get to a stage where, like I rather, eat mangoes in the morning rather than, eating eggs and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I still, make the eggs for the kids, grits, the toast, pancakes, the waffles, that type of stuff. But I want to make things more vegan. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I want to substitute the eggs. I want to substitute, the things that's not so healthy. And I guess it's the mindset and also traditionalism. Some of the traditional stuff, can you explain how the traditional stuff, you know, kept you in the mindset of this is way it has to be because this is how my mama did it, my daddy did it, you know, that type of stuff. Can you explain along the realm of that?
Okay. For me, in my household, I have 2 children, my wife. I'm the only vegan in my household.
Whoa.
I couldn't do it to my kids just to take a total 360 that I did and
You mean
just
180?
I did 360. I turned all the way around. I went halfway and changed, but I did a whole 360 because I doubled back before on a vacation. I doubled back. I didn't go vegan to save all the animals. That wasn't my journey. Remember, my journey was only for health. It wasn't that I didn't like meat. I just started doing research on how they were processing it, and I couldn't continue to do it. You know what I mean? So when I feed my kids now, they have a pescatarian diet. And the way I prepare their food is hydrating their meat. Like it's a way to actually get the impurities out that it's not as bad to eat, but I don't eat it. You know what I mean? My kids, I let them do small portions of fish, and I do like potatoes, and I do like some greens, and I have a bunch of sides. So when I go to make my food, I can still make the sides, and I just make like a little vegan something here. Like if they having fish, I do like a vegan fish fillet. I just throw that in the air fryer, and I can just eat the sides with them. And while they have their fish, I can have mine. So it's like just small little items I swap out, and I prepare their foods differently. But for my dishes, I try and they still eat some of my dishes because if I do like a spaghetti or a lasagna or something that's vegan, I'm not finna go ahead and go do a meat one as well. So y'all are eating vegan stuff sometimes. It's just that I'm not going to totally take it off the plate. I just switch their diet up, and they don't have as much meat as most people probably would.
Man, okay. Now, what you said your father passed away. Did that contribute to your eating and your mother having cancer?
My mom, she caught multiple myeloma, bone cancer. Like I said, about 9 years ago. And my father, he passed in 99. He suffered from complications from diabetes. He ended up
was it type 1 or type 2?
Type 2. Type 2.
For my research, type 2 is reversible.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to see a lot more people having type 2. Now, do you think that is in the water? Not in the water, but like, is this something you think the government is pushing?
I look at it like this.
Or is it lack of knowledge?
The people with the money want to keep the money. So what's in their best interest to keep the money is what's going to happen. So is it in the way they're processing the food now, which is making them more money? Or is it in the actual animals? We've been eating the animals since the beginning of time. It's the way they making money off of it now, because they're not really producing animals that they're raising as animals. They're producing a product that they're making money off of. So it's totally different. So I look at it at how the food is sourced. And when you look at that, you kind of see, it's a system here. It's planned on how we're consuming food, how food is sold to us, and how we're dependent on food and the products that they're putting in the foods. On top of that, our farmers are healthy. The ones that raise the animals and they know what they're slaughtering and they know what they're eating, our farmers are healthy. Now, the people who are eating the stuff that's in the store, we the ones that's getting sick. So
well, I teach my kids the healthiest place is in the produce section.
But even then, you got to watch how, if you're not growing it yourself, if you're not out there digging a hole, putting your soil down, watering it, picking it, taking it in the kitchen and then preparing it, then somebody else put their hands on it. I'm real big in my garden, bro. We in the backyard all the time. We digging up holes, we pulling stuff, we moving stuff. I'm big on my garden. So it's just certain things you got to change in your life that kind of make sense to the way you live. Like if you're not getting your own cilantro, you're not pulling your own lemons off your tree, you're not picking your own tomato, you got to go to the store with their pesticides and their FDA and their regulations, then you run. If you got to depend on them for your food, we're in trouble.
Yeah, I always say if they can feed you, they can starve you. So during this pandemic, from what I've seen, is like they did like a social engineer type of thing over toilet tissue.
Yes.
So just imagine if they did it on food. Like, how have you always had a green thumb?
I didn't. I did not. I'm a city boy. I grew up in Compton. I'm definitely a city boy. So for me, it became like something that I had to learn, and it's still a trial and error thing for me. Like I lost some tomatoes. My eggplant didn't go the way I wanted it to go. So I'm still a work in process. Like I've lost some stuff and I had to go replant, but I'm learning. I'm enjoying the process of learning. It's a learning process for me. And as I go along, I'm learning new tricks. I'm learning different soils, different mixtures, different little things to keep different little pesticides away. I had an ant problem at one time. I didn't know cinnamon kills ants, or it deters ants, strongly deters ants. So it's just stuff, the little tricks that I'm picking up along the way that I'm really I'm falling in love with, bro. Like having a green thumb is probably one of the most relaxing things during COVID, to get your hands in some dirt during the pandemic, bro. It was a different way to ground.
Do you compost?
No, I'm not composting right now. I'm just a Fox Farm kind of guy. I've started some, but it didn't. It wasn't the best for me. Just building it up out there, it wasn't the best for me. I had to get up out of here.
So what do you think about aquaponics?
Oh, that's indoors. Like that, when you start messing with indoors and you start growing like indoor greens and herbs on the inside, it's like it's a process. It's good because I've seen a friend who was growing microgreens. She had a whole microgreen setup, and she had her own worms, and she had her it was really deep. Depending on how far heirloom you want to go into your soil, it's a process. It's deep.
Yeah, because I seen like aquaponic setups where they have like I forgot, it's one of these big plastic containers, and they chopped it off. I forgot what they normally use it for, but they chopped it off and they put fish in the bottom. And on top they got like a floating styrofoam type of thing, and they take different items. So the is getting all its nutrients from the water and the fish.
Yes.
So, that's the outdoor type of rig.
Yeah, that's like the Fox Farm stuff, that it has all of the minerals and the nutrients from the oil in the soil, and it really, that the sulfurs and stuff really makes your plants pop. And out here we get a lot of sun, so when you take your stuff outside and get some of that stuff and hit it, you start seeing stuff start blooming, your flowers start blooming, you get a lot of sunlight. Like we're not really getting cold right now. It might get probably a little below 60 in the 50s out here at nighttime. So you still keep your plants at a decent temperature without them freezing over out here. If we was in some of these states, it's 30 something degrees at night with 2-3 inches of snow. You can't have your plants outside like that. Out here we get a good amount of sun and we can kind of keep our stuff outside. I kind of love that part of it.
Yeah, I remember the California weather, man.
Hey, hold on. Florida weather. Y'all got some sunshine down there too.
Yeah. I mean, it's the sunshine.
Y'all got some sun down there. I got people, we be down there all the time. Y'all got some sun down there.
Yeah, we got some sun, but we got schizophrenic weather down here, man. We can have all four seasons in one day.
Hey, we were down there on vacation.
The hurricane and the tornado.
Bro, we down there, it's sunny, it's 80 degrees outside, throw the white linen on, we outside, we walking, we in Miami. Sky opened up and just wet everybody up. I'm like, you thought you was fly until you got rained on. And you ain't had no umbrella, didn't know it was gonna rain. That weather. Oh man, you gotta learn how to deal with that Florida weather.
Yeah. It's schizophrenic weather here, man. It don't know what it want to be. Like was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday it rained.
Yeah.
Which was good because and I told you I was down for a couple of days because of the pollen. Because these leaves, man, like if you see my yard, we raked like a week before, and then we came right back and we had to rake, and I got like 11 bags of leaves, 11 bags. And I'm getting the kids, hey, come on, let's go,
Hey, come on, y'all want dinner tonight, right? Come on over.
Kids confused about cleaning or about doing anything, but you put a video game in front of them, they ready.
Oh, no. You're going to do this yard work. You're going to get every piece of these leaves. Every piece of these leaves is coming up off of this ground.
And my kids, they like to plant. So, I got them watermelon seeds.
Yeah.
Because, like, if you go to a grocery store, you're not going to get a watermelon with brown seeds in them. You get those white, so-called seedless seed.
You'll be hard pressed to find a seeded watermelon anywhere. And if you find them, keep the seeds. You'll be hard pressed to find a seeded watermelon these days. What they're doing with the food is they're GMOing all the foods, the broccoli, the cauliflower. Hey, if you depend on them to feed you, like you said, they can starve you. So get in the garden and get your green thumb together. With my daughter, she really got into she's an artist, so she really she has her own little herb bucket where she grows her cilantro, her parsley, and she painted her little. It's a girl thing, but I let her be. I make sure I water her when I'm out there watering everything else. So the kids don't really do it.
It's good to train them while they early. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it comes second nature.
Definitely.
If you put in the babies when they early.
And that's something that really wasn't instilled in me. And so that's stuff that I really want to, I focus in on making sure that they have the opportunity to have it instilled in them. That was my goal when I had children, to make sure they had everything that I didn't.
Yeah. And I think, I don't know, like I remember growing up, we had a agriculture class.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't see that as much in the school system.
They took a lot of that out. Everything is a computer.
Yeah. Like, even like here in Florida, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of farmland and stuff like down here. And I was just surprised they took that out to school. I'm like, that's crazy. Like, I used to see this.
You know what? If you have a good school district, and usually it's not in a melanated community, if you have a good school district, you might still see a greenhouse or two where they still have a kindergarten teacher that has a little personal garden or something. But as a whole, as a curriculum, as them thinking that they're going to teach us about it, you're not going to see it anymore. That's teaching you how to be self-sufficient. They need you to be a part of the system. You need to be a part of the system. You need to go get a job. You need to go into debt. You need to go ahead and keep the system going. They're not going to teach you to go start a business and practice nepotism with your family and love on your family and keep your kids in the house until it's time for them to launch.
And that was so crazy about the pandemic, because it's like they shut everything down. Like, you couldn't drive into work no more.
Mm-hmm.
You had to be at home with family.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering, did we take advantage of being home together? You know what I'm saying? I heard, like, divorce rates went up. A lot of people, they wasn't vibing. You know what I'm saying? Just think of how many hours you used to have with your kids. Like, probably see them 1 to 2 hours out the whole day.
At most.
You know what I'm saying? You see them off before you go to work, and you see them after, and then
Then it's time for bed.
It's time for bed. But through this whole, pandemic, I was able, be with my kids on a daily basis, train them on some stuff that is not normally taught in the school system, even though I was already doing that, but still I was able to teach them, their gods and goddesses rather than they started from, slavery and stuff like that. But as far as like trying to get them to understand like the concept of assets and liabilities, and if they can feed you, they can starve you. So they start, you put this in the child's head, drinking water. I mean, we don't have no like Kool-Aid and sodas in the house. We drink water. I mean, it's a plus if we have some fruit drinks, but I don't trust the fruit drinks unless I make it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Like you said with the morning, right? The way I structure my clients, right? I really structure them with high fructose in the morning. So like you said, if you were to start off your morning with like a smoothie or something after you break your fast, after you hydrate, after you warm your kidneys up, after you start your body off proper, I'll start you with hit you with something like a smoothie or something to kind of break your fast and give your body something to start off on and give your body the proper energy that it needs. From there, I'll make sure you have a high protein snack. And then I come back with a nice filling lunch to kind of keep you going steady for the rest of your day. Throw you another snack in there in between then and dinner. In the process, constantly focusing in on movement and form throughout the course of the day. Then from there, finish it off with a nice green dinner, something that is high in chlorophyll. So when your body goes into rest mode and you go back to fasting and you resting, then you go ahead and put your body in a healing state. So you need something that's going to heal your body while you're resting and keep that process going.
Okay. Now, how obsessed were you with your craft as being a trash vegan?
Hey, when it comes to being a trash vegan, I take some pride in this, bro. Like when it comes to finding the newest Oreo that's out, I might have to have it shipped to me. I might have to have them Oreos shipped to me. If they don't make them in my region, we gonna get them. And hey, if one store don't have them, we gonna call around. We gonna make sure we get our order. They have some I never forget these Krispy Kreme donuts. They had some apple pies. They were vegan friendly. They had a whole bunch of other stuff, but they had no eggs. They had no milk in them. They were friendly. It's a go. I got bacon bits in my cabinet. Don't get me wrong. I have all my trashy stuff. I have ice cream sandwiches. I got pints of ice cream. I have cookies galore. I have some trash vegan stuff here in my house, but everything I can't get. I had to drive as far as San Diego just to get a specific butter. Yeah, that's a 2-hour drive just to get some butter.
2-hour drive with some ice cream.
Hey, it's some stuff that it's some restaurants that we didn't have out here. When I first started going plant-based, bro, it wasn't as duly available where you can go pull up to Carl's Jr. or Del Taco and grab, Burger King, I need me an Impossible. It wasn't always like this. This is new to everybody else. Over the past year, everybody kind of jumped on it and made it more duly available. You can go in the El Pollo Loco and get a vegan chicken salad. It didn't always used to be like that. It was to the point where you had 1 or 2 locations that you can actually eat, or they looked at you like you were crazy when you go into a restaurant saying, I don't eat butter on my buns and I don't want no mayo. And yeah, they looked at you crazy. So what do you want on your burger? I'm like, you got some ketchup or some barbecue sauce, maybe a little mustard. It was a process, and people look at you crazy when you're going out because then you asking what's in the bun. Like, does that bun have egg? Is it one of those brioche buns where they gloss it with, a little egg yolk at the end? So once you really get into it and you focus on what you're not going to put into your body anymore, it become a lifestyle, and it's obsessive when you think of it, because if you're serious about it, me personally, I wrote about my why. This book is about my why I chose to make sure I stuck to it, because it's cool to do it, but are you focused enough to stick to it and make sure you're not going to waver when things get hard? Because it's a million times a day that I get bombarded with a commercial or something that looks delicious, and that will take me back to my old crash dummy days. And believe me, food has always been a part of my life. If you read the first 10 pages of my book, I'm gonna send that out like as a freebie. If you want to read the first 10 pages, I'm giving them away free. Is sign up on the email list. So you will understand how important food was for me from a jit. Like when I was little, bro, like food was the thing. We didn't have money in our house.
Man, thank you from Florida. That wasn't it.
Yeah, I was little, boy. When I was tearing it up, boy, I'm telling you, I was bad. And food was the only thing that kind of made stuff make sense when you was a kid. So it wasn't about the fly shoes to me because we didn't have money for shoes. It wasn't who had the new starter jacket or the best BMX bike because we didn't have none of that. So it was about what we eating for dinner. Y'all can go ahead and talk whatever y'all want to. Y'all got McDonald's. My mama in there making oxtails with some potatoes and carrots, and we finna go eat good. Y'all sitting out at the door at y'all little Happy Meals, like what y'all got over there, and I'm waking up to T-bone steaks in the morning. So food was always wealth to me as a kid.
Got a couple of questions.
Sure.
What was your fuck your couch moment? Oh, I gotta say this because it's like if you know, you know.
Yeah.
So what was your fuck your couch moment? What made you say, F this, I'm about to become a trash vegan?
I had a really, really tough situation here. During, you know how you said COVID was hard on everybody, right? Some people was harder on than others. And it got to a point where me and my wife was kind of going at it. We had our ups and our downs. And it was one day, it was like I was thinking about it, but something happened. And the moment that it happened, that was I'm not looking back. I was 10 toes down. I locked in and I said I wasn't going to look back. And that moment, I haven't looked back since that moment. And I really appreciate my team who's around me for keeping me focused. You being one of them, like making sure I did everything that I was supposed to do to get this off the ground, because this is something that happened like really fast. Like I wasn't expecting it to happen this fast. So to be in March,
a lot of it too.
To be in March and to physically today have a physical copy in my hand, this feels amazing, bro. I can't even tell you how much I appreciate the journey and what it meant to me. That was my moment when I said fuck your couch, where I wasn't gonna quit. I remember my first 500 words, bro. I wrote like a couple of really bad paragraphs and sent them to my editor. And the look on her face, she was like,
"This ain't it.
We not having this, bro. If you think this is gonna be a book off of this, nah." And it took that constant butterfly bullying for me to really realize that, if I wanted to get it done, and I wanted to be an actual project, she gave me a rough estimate on how far I would have to go. And at the time, I was about 2,900 and 500 words away. And she said it didn't look good. So I went back to the drawing board. And in the process of that, man, I found the passion. I really found the passion. And from beginning to the end, it was a really fun journey, and I hope everybody gets a chance to engage in a glimpse of my life and what it was like for me.
All right, and to wrap this thing up, what is your future predictions for your company, your family, and yourself as a trash vegan?
I've already spoken into the universe. Me personally, My only thing that I want, I really can request out the universe is good health and some quality time with the people I care about. You know what I mean? Just good time, good moment. And if we do what we supposed to do, the money come to us. We ain't got to go get a bag. You know what I mean? I listen to my girl Sunny. Sunny speaks. She always say, you do the shit that attract the money and the money gonna come. You don't have to be out there trying to make somebody see you. I don't have to get up here and take my shirt off for y'all to see me. I don't have to do anything to be seen. I've done the work. You know what I mean? I put the time in, I put the love in, and I'm staying true to that. You know what I mean? And I stay focused on what I need to do, being positive, putting the right energy out there to the universe. And if it's anything, I just ask for good health for the family, bro, and all my team. If my team is healthy, we able to get up and get it. That's all we need, good health and the time to do it, because time don't wait for nobody. So if we're afforded the moment and we can get it done in that moment, let's get it. I don't really think we need to be dragging our feet or waiting on anything. If it's a goal to get done, let's get to it and stay focused and stay doing it for the right reasons. Do it in love and light, and let the results fall where they may.
Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Man, it's been good game chopping it up with you. We're gonna check back in tomorrow, and we're gonna do your lunch, and we're gonna show you some love. We got a couple of people that's in the waiting room, and I'm gonna let them ask you questions as well, and then I'll take us out. Just to let you know, you have a couple of loyal fans. We have Royal Flush.
Yes.
He was saying peace. We got Rhonda, the butterfly bully / genius.
Hey, that girl's amazing,
Bali.
bro. Bali, that's the queen goddess. Yes, Bali. That's my sister from another.
And with your story, you're allowing people to see you don't necessarily have to be all gung ho about the diet itself, because the word diet has die in it. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to kill yourself.
We focus on the mental here.
It's all mental.
It's all mental here. We don't worry about the diet and what the fad is. We're not worried about anybody. Change. We make it one day at a time, and we stay consistent. Our thing is we're consistent over here, and we stay on our grind until we get to our goal. We're not taking no excuses. We only need one reason why.
All right. Let's see. Shimon.
Yeah, that's my queen goddess. What's up, sus? My NY sus.
Break her on right quick. Hello? No?
I'm here.
How you doing? You got any questions for the guy?
Hey, queen.
Peace, fellas. Good evening, gentlemen. I don't have any questions right now, or I'd get back to you later, Trash. I'm kind of busy right now.
All right.
I've been listening. Congratulations, King Arthur.
Thank you, queen. Queen goddess, thank you. Thank you for the love and support. That mean everything. Call me King out there. That's dope.
We're going to follow up. Hopefully I have my partner, Rico, to also congratulate you.
Oh, that's what's up.
And again, congratulations on your book, man. I can't wait.
Thank you, Brody. I appreciate you.
Into outer space, man. I want to say to be out of sight.
Hey, bro, we out here, bro. We outside with it. Don't worry about it. It'll be one page at a time. We getting it on.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, peace and love to you. Peace and love to your family. Peace and love to all the guys and goddesses on the planet. Hopefully, y'all stay safe. You have officially been a grindaholic. Welcome to Grindtime. Yo grind, yo shine. And we want to give you your flowers while you're still here on this planet.
Thank you, King. I appreciate you, God. I really do.
Yes. Much love.
Peace and light.
All right. To anybody that needs services, make sure you contact the man of the hour, Mr. Trash Vegan. You can go thetrashvegan.com. You'll see some of his services. You'll see the countdown for his new book. Also, as I become more fluent with this Godcast, I'm gonna be bringing him on to do his Trash Vegan talk. I'm gonna have the goddess, the butterfly bully, aka Super Genius, the lovely Rhonda Brown. Hopefully, we can get Tyler Perry and what's the other goddess name?
Jill Scott.
Jill Scott. So hopefully our next guest, couple of guests, get Scott on here, with the crypto, intro to crypto. Brother down in Louisiana, he has a painting service. His father owns a construction company. I never seen too many. The only other person I've seen that had a black construction company is one of my homeboys down in Florida. But I mean, this is a remarkable thing because I don't see it.
Mm-hmm.
And now I got Trash Vegan. What more can I say, man?
One day
I'm proud of you, bro.
I'm proud of you, good bro. I appreciate you. I couldn't have been here without all your hard work, bro. And people will never know how hard you work behind the scenes, bro. I wouldn't be nowhere. You've done a lot for me, bro. I cannot thank you enough. I really appreciate you.
Oh, we about to do some other things.
Yeah, I know it's coming. They'll see. They'll see.
Yeah. So I mean, even with Grindaholic Network, it was like, okay, let me try to produce this so we can have a platform where we can all
do this,
share our interests or businesses and stuff. That's one of the key things I wanted to focus on. Like, I believe in y'all projects. It's no wham bam, thank you, ma'am, and I get goals. I want to see it all the way through. And
you've been hands-on the whole process, bro. Since the day we did the Grindaholic University, you've been hands-on with us. You walked us through. You walked me through. You got us to the point where everybody page is looking good, bro. We making money off of it now. So you done your part tenfold. You know what I mean? Grindaholic, what? And I got my name and I got my stuff hosted. Hold on. We ain't gonna start talking about what you do. I got you. That we ain't gonna start talking about how much you really do behind the scenes, bro. And then on top of that, you got the whole team good. You don't just got me good, you got the whole team good.
The whole team.
The whole team good.
If everything, I look at it as whatever we grind, I'm always looking forward to be the God that I need to be. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of people use grindaholic or grind as a negative connotation. I'm like, nah, you have to grind. You have to suffer every day you wake up. If it's for 1 hour of suffering to give you your best body, your best you, do that. You know what I'm saying? The mental challenges, the heartaches, everything you have to go through. I mean, it's part of life.
It's a process.
I think everybody want it packaged. You know what I'm saying? Like a candy bar. You open it up and it smells good and it tastes good and you're happy for that split second. But why not have it for a lifetime if you grind hard now?
But you have to be consistent.
Yeah.
You got to be consistent because you can't grind hard one day and think you could take the rest of the week off. Nah, it don't work like that because the game don't wait and it keeps on.
Yep. But yeah,
consistency is everything.
Man, it's been a pleasure, man. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for having me, big bro. You got me anytime. We'll link up. We got to talk anyway. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep.
All right, peace, God.
Peace, God. All right. That is our show for Grind Time. Make sure you go to Trash Vegan for all your trashy things that will get you over the hill or get you over that wall that you're hitting. I mean, he did it a simple way. It's not hard. You just gotta be dedicated and willing to put in the time and energy to do this. And again, I love y'all. Peace out. Great night. Good morning. Great afternoon. Wherever you at in the world. All right. All right. Have a blessing, people.